This is for question number 2 of chapter 6 quiz. Express the expression as a fraction in its simplest form. When I talk about as a fraction, it means that I want it to make a single fraction. And for its simplest form, I will try to gather whether the numerator and denominator has any common factors. If there are, I can actually cancel them out and make it in a simpler form. So the golden rule of this kind of question, it has a subtraction of fractions. So before I start subtracting, I must make sure that the denominator are the same first, or rather are they common. So for the first denominator, I'm going to factorize out y such that I get y bracket y minus 2. And you realize that the denominator has a common y. What I'm going to do next would be I'm going to multiply the second denominator by y minus 2 to make it the same denominator, and hence for the numerator I need to do the same thing. So I'm effectively multiplying it by 1. Alright, the next step is I'm going to show you that they have the same denominator. So once they have the same denominator, I then can combine the numerator and start my subtraction. So to make them common denominator, y minus 2. And for the numerator, I'm going to combine them. Make sure you put in the brackets so that the minus sign belongs to everything of the second denominator. Going to expand out the numerator, get 10y minus 20 over y minus 2. Continuing from here, I'm going to expand the numerator one more time, and this time it minus 20 should be positive 20 over y bracket y minus 2. Take note for the denominator, I do not expand out the brackets because I want to see whether there are any common terms with them. And hence I get a final answer like this.